And indeed, it is a spectacular Saturday by the Golden Gate. We're here at AT Park in downtown San Francisco. Giants fans filing in big numbers to watch their Giants take on the Milwaukee Brewers from one of the best ballparks in the game. And welcome here to AT Park. Dave Fleming, happy to have you with us here for our broadcast. The Giants and the Brewers, two teams off to a fairly slow start, each of them this year, but both really consider themselves to be contenders in 2012. My broadcast partner here for our game today, Bill Schroeder, longtime big league catcher, and Bill, for the Giants, the heart and soul of this team, the starting pitching. Today we get to see one of the Giants' very best, 22-year-old Madison Bumgarner.
Yeah, he might be 22 years old, but he has the mound presence of a 10-year veteran. Here's a guy at 21 that was winning a World Series game for the Giants back in 2010. He has the rare combination of a big arm and a strike thrower. He's averaged only 2 walks per 9 innings throughout his career.
So Bumgarner for the Giants. Randy Wolf, the veteran, goes for Milwaukee. The Brewers, a team, though, Bill, is really built around hitting and especially the home run ball. The good news for the Brewers today, Ryan Braun is back in the lineup.
Yeah, he's the big stick in an offense that you would expect to score a lot of runs. Since 2007, when he got called up, he ranks among league leaders in just about every offensive category. He's certainly a player that people come to watch.
So Braun has been banged up the last couple of days. Back in the lineup for Milwaukee. He and his Brewers lead the National League with 32 home runs as a team. It's power against pitching today. The Brewers and the Giants baseball when we come back. Brewers, and as we get ready to play ball here on a spectacular Saturday afternoon, let's hit the starting lineups for the Brewers, brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Maz, and it's a different looking Brewers lineup with a lot of injuries this week for Milwaukee. Norichika Aoki will lead off. Ricky Weeks at second base, bats second. Then Ryan Braun back in the lineup. Aramis Ramirez, the third baseman. Corey Hart in right. Alex Gonzalez, power hitting shortstop. Then Brooks Conrad gets his first start of the year at first base. George Gutaris, the catcher, and the veteran left-hander Randy Wolf pitching and batting ninth. And that lineup will face Madison Bumgarner, just 22 years old, but off to a great start. Much better than last year, that's for sure. 4-1 record already, a 2.53 ERA. He's established himself as one of the top left-handers in the National League. And Bill, give us a little scouting report on the Giants lefty.
Well, the left-hander, he pounds the strike zone. We talked about it on our open this afternoon. The fact that he's only walked 2 per 9 innings in his career. He will pitch in. He's got a cut fastball that will keep right-handers honest, and he's looking for that put-away pitch. His strikeouts are down this year.
So it's Bumgarner on the hill for the Giants, getting ready to go. And our opening pitch is brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. So Norichika Aoki will lead off for Milwaukee. The Brewers center fielder today, Carlos Gomez, is going to go on the disabled list. And check out the lineup card. Jerry Nair, the bench coach, a longtime big league manager himself, has a little different style to his lineup card.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's something worth keeping. Talk about good penmanship, huh? Jerry Nair, and he's done that for his entire career. And I know Aoki appreciates it when he comes to the ballpark.
So Aoki will try to get the Brewers started against Bumgarner. And here we go. Just 22 years old, but big, strong, and a real presence on the mound. The first pitch of the game on the way. And right in the strike zone. Bumgarner will work ahead of a lot of hitters all day long.
And again, the Brewers are a very aggressive hitting ball club. You have to be careful with that first pitch.
Aoki checked his swing. And on appeal, no swing. Aoki, who's new to the big leagues this year, 30 years old, but a 3-time batting champ over in the Japanese Central League. Came from the Tokyo Swallows. Skies one to center field, and Angel Pagan with plenty of room out there for the first out of the ball game. We'll set the Giants defensive alignment. Brought to you by Scott's in the outfield. Brent Hill in left, Angel Pagan at center. Melky Cabrera, new Giant, over in right field. Young Conor Gillespie at third. Arias at short. Ryan Terrio starts at second. Posey today is at first with the 22-year-old Giants catcher Hector Sanchez. A young battery for the Giants. Hector and Madison Bumgarner with Ricky Weeks now hitting second. Longtime leadoff hitter for the Brewers, but with some of the injuries and the struggles at the top of the order, Bill, the Brewers are trying out Weeks in that 2 spot.
Yeah, trying to take a little bit of the pressure off of him, and there's not too many spots in the lineup better than the number 2 spot behind your number 3 hitter for the Brewers. It's Ryan Braun.
So Braun waits on deck. Bumgarner got that first pitch slider over the outside. Trying to come in with the fastball at 92 miles an hour. He misses.
And that's what we're talking about, establishing inside. He's not afraid to keep hitters off the outside corner by busting them inside. You've got to do that even in a big ballpark like this one in San Francisco.
Slow start to the year for Weeks. Takes a strike right at the knees. Another fastball from Bumgarner. You notice the Giants here on Cinco de Mayo wearing their Los Gigantes jerseys. So a little different look for a team that's lost 4 games in a row. Maybe hoping that a new look will snap the Giants out of their funk. Weeks stays alive. That slider again. Bumgarner will throw the slider in, out, up, down. Sometimes it's an unpredictable pitch even as it leaves his hand.
Right, and sometimes he does it by design, sometimes not. But he's got such a unique delivery and follow through that, you know, hitters will tell you that Bumgarner hides the ball extremely well. It's tough to pick up.
The 1-2, a fastball in tight. Looked like Weeks picked that one up late, but got out of the way. It's 2-2.
And just when you think you're going to be looking for something on the outside corner, look out. Bust you right inside, keep you off the corner.
Weeks has been a very patient hitter despite the low batting average so far this season. Strikes out swinging. That cutter in under the hands. 2 down.
Batting third, left fielder, number 8, Ryan Braun.
So Ryan Braun, the Brewers slugger, comes up here. Braun, who missed last night's series opener at AT&T Park. He's had an Achilles problem. Started on Wednesday down in San Diego. Still a little sore, but back in there today. He leads the Brewers with 7 home runs on the year.
Yeah, talking to Ron Renicky, the manager for the Brewers, he did it on a stolen base in San Diego. That's the thing about Braun. as much run production as you get out of Ryan. I mean, he can steal some bases. He stole 33 bases last year.
Power speed combo. There's the Brewers manager, Ron Renicky, second year. Last year led the Brewers to a division title. 1-0 to Braun. He fouls a fastball straight back out of play. Well, Braun's numbers against the Giants, and that's of every hitter in San Francisco Giants history dating back to 1958. He's got the highest batting average against the San Francisco Giants of any opponent.
And the Giants historically have had very good pitching staffs, and that's very impressive.
Here's a drive to right center field, hanging for Pagan, and he'll make the catch on the move. Madison Bumgarner has a nice 1-2-3 inning to start the game. So the 22-year-old kid with the Giants coming up when we come back. Gets a left-hander Randy Wolf. The starting lineups for the Giants brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Maz. Angel Pagan back in the leadoff spot. He's sort of gone back and forth. Ryan Theriot hitting second. Melky Cabrera. Buster Posey to clean up batter in the first baseman. Then Brett Pill, Joaquin Arias, Hector Sanchez, Conor Gillespie, and the pitcher Madison Bumgarner. A right-handed heavy lineup today for the Giants against the veteran lefty, 35 years old, Randy Wolf.
Yeah, Randy Wolf just has not been able to find his rhythm so far this year, but he has won his last two starts.
See the numbers, not pretty for Wolf. A 6.84 earned run average in his first 5 outings of 2012. The switch hitter Angel Pagan leading off for the Giants, and he takes strike one. Wolf will use that fastball. Not an overpowering fastball for Randy Wolf. Big curveball is a weapon for the lefty. Angel Pagan's been hitting with some power. Has 4 home runs already. He takes low, ball one. Pagan also has a hitting streak active, 18 games. Longest active streak in big league baseball. And he got fooled by the changeup there from Wolf.
Now let's check out the scouting report on Randy Wolf. He's got to command that fastball away. That opens up the cutter inside the right-handers. He really hasn't been able to use his curveball very effectively so far this year, and he's somewhat been out of rhythm, as we mentioned a couple of seconds ago.
Trying to catch the outside corner with a fastball, he missed. So the count is 2-2 to Angel Pagan.
You know, you're talking about, rhythm. You're talking about just wind up, the pace of the delivery, and that really sets up all of his control when he throws the baseball to home plate.
Pagan, a grounder to short. Gonzalez will throw out the speedy Angel Pagan for the first out for Randy Wolf and company. And his Brewers defense Brought to you by Scott's, Braun, Aoki, and Hart in the outfield. Ramirez, Gonzalez, Weeks, and Conrad from left to right around the infield. George Kottaras is off to a great start this year, and he catches Randy Wolf. When Wolf's on the mound, Kottaras is behind the plate.
Yeah, Jonathan Lucroy does most of the catching, but the way George Kottaras started the season swinging the bat, he had a few more starts.
But now Ryan Theriot hitting second in the order today. The Giants lineup is in flux. Wolf pounds the strike zone with a first pitch fastball. Pablo Sandoval just had surgery, so the Giants all-star caliber third baseman is out for a month or so. And everything is kind of up in the air for manager Bruce Bochy, trying to find a lineup combination without his overall best hitter. There's the Giants skipper. Managed the Giants to the 2010 World Series championship.
Yeah, it makes it difficult when your best hitter on a team that is really struggling to score runs goes down with injury. And Bochy trying his best to shuffle the lineup, put guys in different spots in that batting order, and trying to find a combination that's going to work.
It's been a tough week for Bochy and his Giants. And the Giants, with their 4-game losing streak, now 12-14 and 5.5 games out. Theriot chased a pitch up. Still a ball and 2 strikes. And for the Brewers, it hasn't been a real easy start either. Milwaukee with a first place club in the National League Central. The Cardinals, who played so well. And the Brewers still trying to find their footing. Also 12-14 and 4 games out. The 1-2 from Wolf. And a fastball a little bit in.
Yeah, both of these teams, I think, trying to find their identity. And kind of spinning the wheels somewhat. But they're hanging in there, both of them. They're looking to find a hot streak.
2 teams that have really been hurt by injuries in the first month of the season. 2-2. There's the home plate umpire this afternoon. The crew chief, veteran Ed Rapuano. Angel Hernandez, the umpire at first. Mark Carlson at second. And Ed Hickox is the umpire at third. So there's the crew here on this sunny Saturday afternoon in San Francisco. Just underway. 1 out, bases empty for Theriot. And he pulls one foul down the left field line. A couple pitches prior, Sergio Romo. It's a big day for Sergio. It's a Romo bobblehead day here at the ballpark. So you figured something goofy was going to happen to him.
Yeah, he got bobbled, all right.
Just in case he was feeling a little big for his britches. Theriot, a grounder to Gonzalez, who still is such a good glove man at shortstop. 2 down.
And we talked about the fact that defense has played a part in both of these teams' starts to their season, and Alex Gonzalez has been one of the best in the business for a long time. The Brewers wanted to look to shore up the left side of their defense. They certainly have been able to do that. The Giants historically have been a pretty good defensive club, but not so much to start the year this year.
Yeah, very ragged start to the year on defense for the Giants. Not because of this guy. Melky Cabrera has done a little bit of everything for this team. Takes ball 1, a fastball misses from Wolf. Cabrera acquired in an offseason trade with the Royals. Jonathan Sanchez sent to Kansas City, and Cabrera has been excellent. Swings here and pops one foul out of play. Cabrera's a switch hitter. He's been patient at the plate. He's hitting for a high average. He's got some extra base pop, and he's also a very good defensive corner outfielder.
Yeah, it looked like he was running the bases pretty well in last night's ball game. He hit a bullet into the gap in right center, and for a minute you thought he was going to try and go for an inside the Parker.
Kottaras back near the screen, but he runs out of room. So Cabrera lives to see at least one more pitch. He's behind at the count 1-2. If he reaches, Buster Posey, today the Giants' first baseman and cleanup hitter, come up here in the last of the first against Randy Wolf. There's Melky Cabrera, who has really enjoyed coming over to the National League. He says he likes the National League style of baseball. Has been the Giants' second place hitter, but with no Sandoval batting third. Takes low. Well, Randy Wolf, Bill mentioned his struggles early this year. He's got a great personal history, though, in this park and against the Giants. So he should have some confidence today. This is low with the changeup.
And this is a ballpark where you can make some mistakes and get away with them, but not so much during the day. You got the wind blowing out a little bit here this afternoon, but this is Randy Wolf's 21st start against the Giants. He's 9-6.
3-2, and he had Cabrera off balance there. Weeks had a hard time getting it out of his glove, and Cabrera is safe at first. Well, Ricky Weeks, a little bobble there, and with the speed of Melky Cabrera, that cost him.
Well, he was charging hard, and as we talked about, Cabrera's been running pretty well. Just didn't have the handle right out of the glove, and that's all it took. Looked like a pretty close play at first base. We saw a couple of those last night.
Big time controversy in last night's game. Cabrera flying down the line. Called safe by Angel Hernandez. And Randy Wolf couldn't believe the call. They give Cabrera the infield hit despite that bobble by Weeks. And it gives Buster Posey a chance to bat with a runner on. Posey's cooled off this week, but still off to an excellent start. Wolf from the stretch for the first time. Pours in strike one.
Well, it looks like he had him, but the umpires don't have the benefit of a replay like that. And it was pretty close.
The Giants got a break there, though, because Cabrera was out. Called safe. Posey fooled by the curveball. That's the first of those slow curves we've seen from Randy Wolf.
Yeah, and that's a very important pitch for him, and one of the reasons why he's gotten off to a bit of a slow start, he hasn't had that pitch, and he ordinarily has that right away. That's a pitch that he can count on ordinarily.
Posey quickly behind 0-2. Cabrera leading away from first. Posey skies one to right field. Corey Hart is there, and he'll make the play to retire the Giants. On to the second. Ramirez will lead off for the Brewers. Scoreless game. Let's go. The Giants and the Brewers are scoreless. Aramis Ramirez will lead off for Milwaukee here. Ramirez with a new club, but a great history as a third baseman. The most home runs hit while playing third base in the history of baseball. Mike Schmidt, of course, is the leader. The great Eddie Matthews spent so many great years in Milwaukee himself, but Ramirez is on that list. That's pretty good company, Bill.
And Aramis Ramirez is going to be asked to pick up the slack left behind by Prince Fielder, moving on to Detroit as a free agent. Ramirez ordinarily gets off to a slow start, but normally is around 25 to 30 home runs and 100 RBIs just about every year.
Chipper Jones, now Hall of Famer Ron Santo, also on that list, as Bumgarner misses with a first pitch fastball. Ramirez off to a sluggish start this year. Had a big hit in the Brewers win here last night. There's a fastball for a strike.
Now you talk to Ron Renicky, and he'll tell you that the top of his order has been relatively inconsistent. We talked about Ricky Weeks being dropped down to the number 2 spot, but he'll tell you that the bottom of the order has been pretty good. Guys like Gonzalez, guys like Jonathan Lucroy, those guys have been swinging the bat pretty well.
I'm going to use the slower curveball, and jumps ahead 1-2. Ramirez lines one fair past the dive of Conor Gillespie. Cabrera will play the carom, or Brett Pill will rather, but no play at second. Ramirez with a leadoff double. And here's Corey Hart. We talked to him before the game about batting in the 5th spot for the Brewers.
I like leading off just because I've had success there, but yeah, I don't mind the 5-hole, but I catch myself being, too much of a leadoff hitter in that role. I take way too many pitches, but I think it's more of a comfort thing, trying to get over different spots in the order. But it's coming. I've had a little bit of success, but I think obviously the more I'll be there, the better I'll feel, and the more I'll adapt to that spot.
Well, good example right here, Bill, as Bumgarner gets called strike 1 against Corey Hart. He's got a runner in scoring position. Ramirez out at second with nobody out.
And Corey Hart gets hot. I mean, nobody can carry a team like he can. And when he's beginning of the year, he only had 2 games in spring training.
Hanged up during the spring.
And he got a great start off to his season.
Hart's hitting with a lot of power. 7 doubles, a triple, and 6 home runs already. And one of the reasons why he is in that 5 spot for the Brewers. Looking to take a lead against Bumgarner and the Giants. Oh, 2. Hart hits it foul. You saw Hector Sanchez set that target up, trying to get him with the high fastball. Here's Ramirez with the low liner past the reach of the third baseman Gillespie.
And Ramirez, you give him a pitch, he can pull it down the line. I mean, that was a slider that Bumgarner left up a little bit.
Now pitch way up for ball 1. And you mentioned it, no Prince Fielder. That's the big difference between last year's Central champion Brewers and this year's club. And it's got to be a group effort. You can't just replace Prince Fielder. Ramirez, Hart, everybody's got to pitch in.
Well, that's pretty much what's been happening. And just mentioned the bottom of the order has been pretty good. Corey Hart has been swinging the bat. Guys coming off the bench. Ishikawa's had some very good starts. And Nigel Morgan is off to a little bit of a slow start. But you can't replace a guy like Prince Fielder. I mean, he's one of those guys that is just not going to be able to do. And but as a combined effort, I think they can come close. And with the starting pitching that they have in their bullpen, I think the Brewers feel as though they're going to be a contender.
1-2 after that conversation between pitcher and catcher. A slider popped up. Sanchez, does he have room? No. Just back behind the backstop.
Yeah, this is a pretty good pitcher's ballpark except for foul territory. That's 2 instances right now already in this game where, in different ballpark, they're outs, 2 pop-ups. Give a hitter a new life.
Also, Corey Hart needs a new bat. He broke his bat on that swing. Hart, big, tall, rangy. And he told us, you just heard from him about his history as a leadoff man. He's always been a patient hitter.
One of those guys can give you a 1-0 lead very quickly in a leadoff spot. Ron Renicky likes that.
1-2. Bumgarner. And Hart just stays alive. Well, our 4 keys to the game, and a good spot to bring this up, Bill, because you have Aramis Ramirez at second base in scoring position.
Yeah, both of these teams need to do a better job. Now, the Brewers are a home run hitting ball club, and historically they've had a tough time with runners in scoring position. The Giants, on the other hand, are one of the better hitting clubs with nobody on base. They just need to come up with that big hit.
Giants have really struggled in those spots. Hart battling, and Bumgarner misses inside with that cutter. 2-2. already a 7-pitch at bat here, and Hart will see number 8. Still nobody out. Ramirez without great speed, leading away from second. That one is down and in with a fastball. Count goes full from 0-2 to 3-2.
This is what we were talking about on our scouting report. The put away pitch for Bumgarner. He's having a tough time with it this year.
Pitching very well, but the strikeouts have been down. 3-2 and strike 3 called. He backdoored him with that slider.
Now, not too many hitters are going to look for this pitch on a 3-2 count, and catching plenty of home plate. Good pitch. That backdoor slider from Bumgarner. Completely surprised Corey Hart, as it would just about any hitter.
So it's the power of that pitch for Bumgarner. He struck out Ricky Weeks on a similar pitch way to the inside in the first inning. Now he goes to the outside and gets Hart looking. And a big spot for a strikeout. Ramirez is still at second base. Alex Gonzalez, the shortstop, the hitter.
Well, it gives you a good indication of Bumgarner's ability to locate that slider on both sides of the plate. He'll like to back foot that slider, meaning he tries to throw it right at the back foot of the right-handed hitter, get it underneath their bat, and then he can backdoor it on the outside corner.
Gonzalez, 250 hitter with 4 home runs, lines a base hit into left center field. Ramirez got kind of a late break coming around third. Pagan's throw is cut off, and Ramirez scores. It's 1-0 Brewers. Today's game is sponsored by Roundup Extended Control, Weed and Grass Killer Plus Weed Preventer, and by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. A beautiful day here at AT&T Park in San Francisco. The Brewers have just jumped ahead 1-0 on the RBI hit by Alex Gonzalez. There's a hit with a runner in scoring position.
And Gonzalez just jumps all over a first pitch slider from Bumgarner.
Now a swing and a high fly ball to left. Brett Pill coming in. Out number 2. Brooks Conrad going on 1 pitch. So Conrad, who just got called up from the minor leagues, didn't make the Brewers out of spring training, but Matt Gamble, the everyday first baseman, tore his ACL this week. He's out for the rest of the year, and Conrad is going to, at least here initially, try to fill that hole.
Right, there was some talk about having Corey Hart move into first base, but the Brewers are going to a little bit hesitant to do that at this point. Conrad, a versatile player for Ron Renneke on his bench. He's a switch hitter.
Yeah, but not the kind of player you probably would prefer to have as an everyday player. His value more off the bench with that versatility you're talking about.
And anytime you have your bench players, in the starting lineup, you weaken your club.
Curveball missing to George Kataris. And what a start for Kataris. He does not play much. Kataris hasn't had a lot of at-bats this year. Just 23 of them, in fact. But he's got 3 home runs and a double, and he's drawn 10 walks.
And he's driven in 9 runs. The personal catcher for Randy Wolf. That's good work if you can find it.
Real good work. There's Jonathan Lucroy, the other catcher who plays a little bit more than Kataris. What a combo those two are. A right-handed hitter, a left-handed hitter, both productive. Milwaukee's getting a lot from the catcher's spot. There goes the runner with a big jump. Sanchez the throw, and it ticks off the glove of Arias. Gonzalez will be safe at second, and he's hurting.
Yeah, he jammed his foot into second base. A late slide, and that didn't look very good.
Well, this beat up Milwaukee club, they can't afford to lose anybody else, and Alex Gonzalez is in a lot of pain. So he steals second, but at what cost?
And it looks like the athletic trainer working on the knee of Alex Gonzalez. And last thing either one of these teams needs is another injury. A very good jump by Gonzalez, but you see he just jams his foot right into the bag, and it was a late slide. And no telling what he tore up there. If anything, you can see the speed with which he was coming into second base, and obviously in a lot of pain.
Wow. And he's putting no pressure on his right leg as he's being helped off the field now a tiny bit. Yeah, what more can go wrong for the Brewers? They've lost Matt Gamble. Today we learned that Carlos Gomez, their speedy center fielder, is going to go on the disabled list after this game with a hamstring problem. We've already lost a starter, Chris Narveson, on the disabled list for the year.
Yeah, Ryan Braun missed a day.
It has been a challenging week for Milwaukee, that's for sure. And Alex Gonzalez, a big part of this team, is coming out of the game.
Have a good throw by Buster Posey. A little bit high. I think a good throw might make it close, but you can see the problem that Gonzalez had there at second base. A late slide and coming in hot at second base.
So the Brewers lose their everyday shortstop. Is Turris in as the runner? Cesar Izturis, been around a long while. He's now at second base, and the count goes 2-2 to Kataris. Brewers have scored a run here and looking for more. You got the pitcher Randy Wolf on deck, so you wonder how aggressive Bumgarner is going to be. He misses outside. And Wolf is a pretty good hitting pitcher, but
he's a pitcher.
He's still a pitcher. I'd be surprised if Bumgarner gives Kataris anything in the strike zone here. We'll see. 3-2. Kataris swings away and pops it up. That one, though, will drift back into the seats.
And so far in the early going, it looks like Bumgarner's having a tough time getting his fastball down in the strike zone. Leaving a lot of pitches up, giving the Brewers an opportunity to foul him off.
Giants fans trying to help their 22-year-old lefty get through this top of the second inning. Another 3-2. Kataris bounces this one foul. Right to the first base coach, Garth Orange. Still a full count to the Milwaukee catcher. The catcher, Sanchez, sets the target. Kataris grounds one to third. Backhanded by Gillespie, and his long throw is in time. The Brewers are retired, but they get a run, and Milwaukee now leads the Giants 1-0. Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Now the sailboats are out in McCovey Cove, San Francisco Bay, right behind the right field wall here at AT&T Park on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. The Giants and the Brewers. And the Brewers have grabbed a 1-0 lead as the Giants come up in the last of the second inning. And Brett Pill, the left fielder today for the Giants, takes ball one from Randy Wolf. And as Turris stays in the game, as we knew he would, he's the shortstop. We'll hope for the best for Alex Gonzalez, who was hurt sliding into second in the top of this second inning, and it did not look good. There's a call on the inside with the fastball from Wolf. 1-1.
Yeah, Pill off to a pretty good start this year, hitting around 300.
He's got some power.
Some opportunities out in left field. A little platoon out there.
Aubrey Huff, a regular in the Giants lineup, is on the disabled list himself. There's Aubrey watching from the dugout today. Eligible to come off in a couple days, so he'll be back with the Giants. There's a pitch inside. Another fastball, and Pill's got himself ahead of the count, 3-1. But Pill's got some power, and the Giants need a little more power. Swings, and it's a hard ground ball to the new shortstop is Turris. He'll throw out Pill for one away. And let's go to Greg Amsinger at the MLB Network studios for a DirecTV game break. Greg?
Hey, guys, let's start on the north side of Chicago. Darwin Barney with a tapper back to Jamie Wright. That'll do it. Dodgers beat the Cubs 5-1. Chris Capuano is 4-0 on the year. In Beantown, the Orioles win again. 8-2 the final. The Red Sox have lost 4 straight. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Dave, Bill, back to you in San Francisco.
All right, thanks, Greg. Here's Joaquin Arias for the Giants. 1-0 Milwaukee, last of the second. Starting at shortstop today. Just called up this last week to the big leagues. Arias fouls that pitch off, and he's behind in the count 0-2. So how about the Orioles? That unbelievable start continues for Baltimore, and the Dodgers are 18-9, the early leader and playing great ball here out west.
Yeah, how about Matt Kemp? The start he's off to again, picking up right where he left off last year.
Best player in the game right now.
Yeah.
I think the consensus has formed on Matt Kemp.
It's good that the Dodgers have all of their ownership issues, behind them, and I think everybody in that organization is much more relaxed. I know Don Mattingly's able to make some decisions. They've already made a move. They picked up Bobby Abreu.
Arias chases one in the dirt for strike 3. Kataris will complete the put out at first base. So Arias gone 2 away. This MLB on Fox season, Fox Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Club of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. And it is a great cause. We're happy to be a part of it.
They've had our pins on today.
Yeah, the lapel pins for the Boys and Girls Club. Here's Hector Sanchez, the 22-year-old catcher. Switch hitter, batting right-handed in the lineup against Randy Wolf. Sanchez has really cooled off after a hot start. Takes that curveball. Wolf looks like he's starting to get a feel of the curve, which is such a big weapon for him.
And when you have a curveball that you can throw up there at about 60 miles an hour, very important you get it down the strike zone.
1-1. Sanchez slaps one foul.
When you leave those slow curves up in the zone around belt high, they get hit pretty hard. You put them downstairs, they're very effective pitches. That'll keep hitters off that corner, that outside corner of the fastball.
So far, first time through this Giants order, Randy Wolf has been very solid. The only hit for the Giants, just a little infield chop. 1-2 to Hector Sanchez. He takes right in there, strike 3 called. So excellent beginning for Randy Wolf of the Brewers. They lead the Giants 1-0. From San Francisco this afternoon, AT&T Park. Brewers lead the Giants 1-0 as this game moves to the third inning. And it'll be the pitcher Randy Wolf. Good hitting pitcher against Bumgarner. He swings and misses for strike one. Wolf hasn't had a hit yet this year, but he's always among the best hitting pitchers in the National League.
He might not get a hit, but he'll take a hack up there, that's for sure.
He looks like a real hitter. Just taken all the way there. So maybe not quite that time. 0-2. Two-strike pitch from Madison Bumgarner. Just off the plate outside. Brewers got a run in the second. Alex Gonzalez knocked home Aramis Ramirez. Wolf took one of those big hacks there, and he fouled one right off the mask of young Hector Sanchez.
It doesn't get cheated ordinarily, Randy Wolf.
Mr. Posey today playing first base. Sanchez behind the plate. And the Giants a couple times a week now are doing that. And that went right square on the face mask. Yeah. Bill, former catcher. It's hard to watch.
Well, I didn't have that kind of mask when I was playing. And they say that you can see a lot better with those masks, but there's not as much protection on foul tips. There's not as much padding in those.
Yeah, Posey uses that hockey goalie style mask when he's behind the plate. He experimented with the traditional style. There's a bloop hit for Randy Wolf. So he does single up the middle. Runner on with nobody out. Let's go to Greg Amsinger once again at the MLB Network studios for another DirecTV game break.
Hey guys, let's go to Queens. Johan Santana serves this one up to Ryan Roberts, the Tat Man, who's been struggling all year long. His second of the season, 1-0 D-backs. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Dave, Bill, back to you in San Fran.
All right, Greg. Well, Johan Santana, he's been a nice story for the Mets. A couple of lost years with injury, and he has pitched well for New York so far.
Yeah, that would be a big shot in the arm if the Mets were able to get him for 30, 35 starts.
Another team, the Mets, trying to find their way. Here's Aoki, 0 for 1, hitting leadoff today. Randy Wolf, the pitcher, singled to start this third inning, so he's at first with nobody out. Bumgarner throws, and he misses outside. 2-0. Command is a little bit off for Bumgarner here today. He hasn't walked anybody. I think Bumgarner's a little unhappy with where he's putting his pitches.
You would expect with a delivery like the one Bumgarner uses that he would be more inconsistent with his strikes, but he doesn't. He's very consistent. 2 walks per 9 innings in his short career. That's very good, especially when you have an unorthodox delivery like the one he had, like a Lincecum delivery you would think would be tough to throw strikes on a regular basis.
Yeah, the lack of walks for a pitcher his age really historically great for Bumgarner. There's ball 3 though to Aoki. Brewers are probably going to be giving some more at bats to Aoki now with Gomez out, with Matt Gamble out, which could cause some shuffling from the outfield to first base. Good hitters count here, 3-1. He takes a strike. That slider over the outside.
Aoki, an all-star, in the Japanese leagues. He was a 3-time batting champion, a Gold Glover. The Brewers picked him up as a number 4 outfielder, but as you mentioned, he might be getting a lot more playing time than they had anticipated.
3-2. Wolf not going anywhere. Aoki hits a fly ball to center. Pagan sort of spun himself the wrong way at first, but time to make the catch for out number 1. There's Giovanni Gallardo, the young ace of the Brewers staff. Next half inning, we're going to chat with Giovanni Gallardo from the Milwaukee dugouts. We look forward to that. Big arm, big personality, and one of the leaders of this Milwaukee pitching staff. Here's Ricky Weeks. The power, but the low batting average for Weeks at the start of the year. An all-star kind of player. The Brewers need him to get it going.
Yeah, Weeks was really putting together a nice season last year. Then he He tore up his ankle in a play at first base and really has not been the same hitter since. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, the ankle problem, but he came back last year for the postseason.
1-0 to Weeks. That's low, ball 2. Well, Weeks staying healthy has been a problem for him in his career. When he's been healthy, he has been one of the most productive second basemen in the game.
Yeah, he's had surgery on both wrists in his career. That's something that you don't see very often.
2-0. Weeks chops one toward third. Gillespie a fair ball. Look to second, and that cost him the out at first. Giants get nobody. He scored as a hit for Weeks.
Yeah, no chance at a play at second base, even with Randy Wolf running. A little bit of a peek, and that's all it took, as you mentioned. Ricky hustling down the line, and he looked like he beat it. That's all it takes. Just one little hesitation over there. When some of these guys get down the line, that's all it takes to, missing out.
A little lack of awareness for Conor Gillespie of who the runner is. Weeks has got so much speed, you cannot do that and expect to get him. So the fill-in third baseman just called up from the minor leagues with Pablo Sandoval breaking a bone in his left hand, having surgery, out for a month at least. The Brewers now have 2 on with only 1 out, and their best hitter at the plate, Ryan Braun, takes a curveball for ball 1. This is set up nicely for Milwaukee, and that's where that defensive mistake, not scored as an error, but costly for the Giants because Braun's the guy at the plate.
Yeah, play that should have been made. When you talk about the defense, it's not just errors.
Far too much of that for these Giants at the start of 2012. 1-0 to Braun. That's in there for a strike.
And they hurt even more when you're having a tough time putting runs on the board. Every out, every batter is very important to retire. Playing Ryan Braun very deep in the outfield, as they should.
The gate in center field, I don't know if you could notice from that last shot, but the gate in center field has swung open and the umpires have not noticed it. That one is way inside ball 2, and somebody needs to stop play and open and make sure they close that gate to the groundskeeping area behind the center field wall.
Ed Rapuano, the only umpire that can really see it.
Maybe if you and I, Bill, shout loud enough, somebody will actually notice that.
Should we call time? Stick our heads out of the booth and call timeout.
I mean, that's not good if Braun hits one towards center field. The 2-1 and a curveball down and in, ball 3. And now the Giants finally, I think, have gotten word in the dugout about that, and they're trying to get somebody's attention, and now finally the umpires will call time. Took them a few pitches.
It's okay. Would have been interesting, though.
Angel Pagan might not think so.
Now, what would the ground rule be on that? A ball rolling through an open gate, double?
I assume it would be.
Had to be, right?
We don't have that one come up too often. So there you go. It's a little avocado tree, believe it or not, that sits behind the center field wall here. We got a peek of that. Pagan does the work himself. There it is. Sod farm the groundskeepers use for extra grass when a part of the turf gets chewed up. Big spot here for Bumgarner and a great opportunity for Braun and the Brewers. Excellent hitters count, 3-1 with 2 on and 1 out. The pitch, and Braun foul tips one. Hector Sanchez is getting beat up this inning. Strike 2.
Yeah, good pitch by Bumgarner. That cut fastball under the hands of Braun. And Ryan Braun, all he could do was foul it off, right off the toe of Hector Sanchez.
So now the count full. We'll see if the Brewers, who are an aggressive running team, but you got the pitcher as the lead runner out there at second. See if they have ideas about sending Wolf and Weeks. They're not going anywhere, and Braun strikes out swinging. Big sequence for Bumgarner, 2 down. Now Pepsi Max is giving you the chance to play ball with some of baseball's greats. Just go online to MLB.com/Pepsi Max to vote for your favorite legends and enter for your chance to win. Remember, if you build it, they will come. A big second out. Now Aramis Ramirez up for the second time. He doubled and scored the only run of the game so far. 2 on, 2 out. And ball one from Bumgarner.
What a good sequence by Bumgarner, as you mentioned. Ryan Braun, 2 cutters, and he came up empty both times. Did Ryan Braun?
You got to have some guts as a pitcher to throw those to Braun. Bumgarner certainly has guts. Ramirez skies one to left center field. The gate's closed out there. Pagan has it, and Bumgarner gets through the jam. Nice pitching by the young lefty. We'll talk to Giovanni Gallardo when we come back. Brewers lead 1-0. Dave Fleming, Bill Schroeder with you today from AT&T Park. Bottom part of the order for the Giants, the 8th place hitter, CONOR GILLASPIE. And on Cinco de Mayo, the Giants wearing those Gigantes jerseys. GILLASPIE, just a handful of big league at-bats, just got called up this week with the Sandoval injury. And he takes a strike from Randy Wolf. Well, we're happy to have with us from the Milwaukee dugout the 26-year-old ace of the Brewers, Giovanni Gallardo. Feliz Cinco de Mayo, Giovanni. Thanks for giving us a few minutes here.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
A big curveball to Gillespie for a strike. Giovanni, it's been kind of a tough start to the year for your Brewers, and especially with the injuries. Now today you lose Alex Gonzalez. How's this team hanging in there?
Yeah, it's tough. You know, just like you said, especially this road trip. Seems like there's been quite a few guys going down, but you know, you just got to stay positive. Hopefully with Gonzo it's nothing serious, but we'll see.
Giovanni, with a short bench now, Gomez not available, are there any positions that you could perhaps play out there later in the game?
Hopefully not. You know, hopefully we score some runs and won't have to get to that, but like I said, I mean, just like you said, we're short on players, so we just got to be prepared for everything.
Now, pitching in a ballpark like this here in San Francisco, big fences, and do you feel yourself to be a little bit more aggressive in a ballpark like this than opposed to Miller Park?
Yeah, I mean, of course. I think just like you said, I mean, it's got to be well hit to hit it out of this ballpark. You know, just go out there, make pitches, maybe a little bit more around the plate, but yet again still down in the zone and get him swing the bat early.
And I mentioned the big ballpark because a few years ago you hit a home run here against Randy Johnson. Do you remember that home run?
Yes, I do. That was pretty exciting, pretty amazing. You know, just to have the opportunity to even go up there and face a guy like that, and especially hit a home run, which is I was pretty excited about that.
Well, there was 2009. We got a quick look at it. And Giovanni, I don't even know if you know this, but of course, Randy Johnson, he'll be going to the Hall of Fame here in short order. The only home run he ever gave up to a pitcher was your home run here a couple seasons ago. So you can always have that in your book.
Yeah, I mean, of course, just like you said, it's we obviously know he was an outstanding pitcher, great pitcher. But you know, I found that out a few days after that happened, which is just like you said. I mean, just very excited to achieve that, and you know, it's pretty awesome, I guess.
So we saw you hit that home run. You got 9 career home runs. Randy Wolf's got a hit today. We know he can swing the bat. Zach Greinke's pretty good hitter coming over from the American League. Who's the best hitter on this pitching staff? And you don't have to be modest.
You know what? I think I'm going to take a chance to say myself, just because I know all the other guys are going to say themselves also. But you know, we have a great group of guys. You know, we take it very seriously. We swing the bat every time we can, and just work on things.
Angel Pagan with 2 outs, hits one off the mound, ricochets to his turret. He has no play, and that's 19 games in a row, the hit streak for Angel Pagan. A 2-out infield single against Randy Wolf. We're visiting with Giovanni Gallardo, Brewers right-hander, from the dugout here in the last of the third. Milwaukee leading the Giants 1-0. And it'll be Ryan Theriot coming up. Giovanni, we mentioned the injuries already. Matt Gamble, your first baseman, an ACL injury earlier this week. Of course, the big news in baseball, Mariano Rivera tore his ACL, and it's an injury that you have had in the past. When we're thinking about those other guys, what's the recovery going to be like for the great Mariano Rivera, for your teammate Matt Gamble?
You know, it's tough. Like I said, I mean, it's obviously it's a long time. You know, it just takes a lot of patience and a lot of hard work. You know, rehab every day. I would, you know, just having gone through that, it's tough. You know, but I say, I mean, both those guys are pretty good athletes. You know, they just go out there, work hard, and should have no issues after that.
Now, you came back pretty quickly from that ACL injury. You were able to pitch at the very end of that year, right?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to have a few starts there at the final week of the season and in the postseason. But you know, just having the surgery going into it, I pretty much thought I was going to be done for the rest of the year. But you know, the training staff did a great job. You know, got me back out on the field there for the last few weeks, which was pretty amazing.
You know, the unfortunate thing for Rivera, the fact that it happened during batting practice, shagging flies. There's been some talk about having pitchers not do that anymore. Is that something you guys enjoy doing before a game?
You know what? Enjoy, I wouldn't say enjoy, but trust me, I think you ask any other pitcher, we're fine with not shagging. But
yeah.
But yet again, you know, it's another way of being out there, just having fun. You know, just kind of take your mind off things, running after fly balls. But it's one of those rare things in baseball. You know, especially going down in the way he did. It's tough.
So Giovanni would have no problem if there were a culture change and pitchers didn't have to do that every day. David Robertson is going to take over for the Yankees at the back end of the bullpen. Pagan, a stolen base threat. Randy Wolf trying to pay attention to him. Good hitters count here for Ryan Theriot. 1-0 Brewers. Giovanni Gallardo giving us a few minutes from the dugout. Speaking of bullpens, your bullpen, the last part of last year, now this year, you got K-Rod as the setup man, your excellent closer Axford as a starting pitcher. Does that give you some comfort when you got such a loaded back end of the bullpen?
Yeah, I mean, of course. I think just for all starting pitchers, I think just having the lead there in the 7th, 8th inning, you know, going deep in the ball game, I think we're feeling pretty confident. You know, both of those guys did a great job for us last year. You know, it's one of the reasons we were able to get as far as we did. And you know, even this year, just like I said, I mean, especially with K-Rod, we got K-Rod halfway through the year last year, did a great job. And Axe, they both got great stuff. You know, just they're not very easy to hit off of.
3-2 to Theriot. Pagan's running, and a soft ground ball hit to Weeks. He'll throw out Theriot. The inning is over. Thanks, Giovanni Gallardo, for giving us some time.
No problem. Thank you.
Brewers on to the 4th inning, leading 1-0. morning and on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Our Twitter poll question, we were talking about the injury to Mariano Rivera. Can the Yankees defend their American League East title without the all-time great Yankees closer? You can tweet us at MLB on Fox with your vote. Hashtag Yankees yes if you think they can. Hashtag Yankees no if it's going to be too big of a challenge to overcome. We'll give you the results later on in the telecast.
How about Mariano Rivera? Was it been 97, 98 since he's been the closer for the Yankees?
Just an amazing career.
It is.
And such a freakish play. Shagging fly balls on the warning track in Kansas City during batting practice. Slipped and tore an ACL ligament in his knee. Corey Hart leading off for the Brewers here in a quick 0-2 hole against Bumgarner. Hart pops one to shallow right field. Theriot back. It'll be all Ryan Theriot, who sort of battles that one but hangs on for the out. This afternoon's game is presented by Chevrolet and sponsored by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Mas. What a scene out on San Francisco Bay, the watercraft. Pretty nice spot to catch a ball game. Out in what they call McCovey Cove here at AT Park. Some Brewers fans have made the trip west, or perhaps some local Brewers fans enjoying themselves as well.
Not a bad vacation destination with the Brewers in town.
Sombreros for Cinco de Mayo.
Yep, San Francisco. Beautiful ballpark here, AT&T Park.
Cesar's Turris grounds one to JOAQUIN ARIAS, and he throws out the Milwaukee shortstop. 2 gone. Turris came into the game because of the injury to Alex Gonzalez. There's the Bay Bridge connecting San Francisco and Oakland, and just close to here at AT&T Park. You can see it from the seats up top down the right field line. A spectacular view of the Bay Bridge. Of course, the San Francisco cable cars. Another hallmark of this great city by the Bay. Brooks Conrad 0 for 1. Takes a strike on the outside.
And no shortage of fine restaurants. More importantly,
a great food city. You're right about that. The Dungeness crab, the sourdough bread, and much more than that. There's strike 2 to Conrad. Giants fans remember Brooks Conrad well from the 2010 National League Division Series. Because of injury to the Braves, Conrad had to play a lot in that series and made a couple of key mistakes that helped the Giants beat the Braves and advance to the National League Championship Series, where they would beat the Phillies. Went on to win the World Series a couple of years ago.
Certainly something I think Brooks Conrad would just as soon forget.
Conrad strikes out swinging, and a strong inning for Madison Bumgarner. Part of the order coming up for the Giants when we come back. Brewers lead 1-0. Bottom of the fourth, needing to get some offense going against Randy Wolf and the Brewers. It's Melky Cabrera, switch hitter, batting right-handed, and there's the big curveball from Wolf, in for strike one call. Dave Fleming, Bill Schroeder. Bill talked right off the top about how that curveball is so important for Wolf. There's a ball slashed foul by Cabrera for strike two, and he has established that pitch.
Yeah, and he really hasn't had that. You talk to Rick Kranitz, the Brewers pitching coach, will say that it's all about rhythm and Randy Wolf's ability to throw that pitch for a strike early in the count. They're going to be sitting fastball. If you could drop that in for a strike early, that will certainly help.
0-2, and Cabrera takes high. Well, we saw a great shot of that Randy Wolf curveball. It's one of the prettiest curves in the game. You don't see as many pitchers these days who throw that big, dropping, slow curveball. Giants have one in Barry Zito.
Yes, sir.
Part of their starting rotation.
Who is off to a very good start this year.
Yeah, there's Zito. He's been pitching well. It's been a rocky Giants career for Zito, and he had a very tough spring training. He has turned it on, though, in the regular season. A 1.76 earned run average for Zito so far.
And just like Randy Wolf, the talk is that Zito is throwing his curveball for strikes again.
Wolf has given up just 2 hits in this game, and both of them have been infield hits. Base runners hard to come by for the Giants. Cabrera takes inside. Fastball misses in, and Melky Cabrera was behind 0-2. He's got the count full. Posey waiting on deck. The 3-2 pitch, and Cabrera hits a hard ground ball, but right to short. As Turris throws him out, 1 away. Well, Randy Wolf from a great baseball family, not just on the player's side, but of course his brother Jim Wolf has been a longtime major league umpire now, and a real good one. Jim Wolf, who works games with Randy Wolf participating, but does not work the home plate when Wolf is on the mound, and one of the good guys in the sport. So brothers, a pitcher and an umpire.
Could you imagine the arguments that would ensue had those two guys hooked up? Jim Wolf umpiring, Randy Wolf on the mound. I would imagine the zone would be quite big.
Well, either that or he might go the other way. Sorry, bro.
Can't play favorites.
Posey into the hole and ticks off the glove of Aramis Ramirez. And that'll allow Posey to reach.
And another infield hit.
That's 3 of them for the Giants already. Ramirez could not make the play. Well, tonight the UFC returns to Fox. Immediately hits the air with an explosive heavyweight bout right away. Lamar Johnson and Pat Barry. 3 great fights will follow that. It's UFC Fight Night on Fox, sponsored by Bud Light, live from East Rutherford, New Jersey, tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. And they will not give Posey a hit. They're going to charge Aramis Ramirez with an error.
That's a rough call.
And that is a tough error. And we'll see if they reconsider. Brett Pill takes the first pitch curve high.
Yeah, that is a tough play. I mean, fully extended right off the end of the glove. I think they're going to change that.
Let me just say, that's not an error.
No, it's not an error.
Well, we'll see. Brett Pill takes another curve low. I'm not going to put that one down on my scorebook in ink just yet. Two-0 to Pill, and Pill in the lineup against the lefty to provide the Giants with some pop in the middle of the order. Pulls this one just foul by third.
Did a nice job pulling the hands in on that cut fastball. That was off the plate.
Pill, a guy who climbed the ladder in the minor leagues, never considered a great prospect. Here's the swing that Bill's talking about. Couldn't quite keep it fair.
And it was close.
Earned his way up to the big leagues last year and played real well in September. Pulls another one foul. This time against the curveball.
And Bruce Bochy, doing whatever he can in the lineup to try and find some offense. Not so much, strict platoons as he is trying to just figure out who's going to be able to get some runs on the board.
Giants manager talking to the bench coach Ron Wotus. Now he'll focus his attention on Pill at the plate. Pill pops this one foul. Conrad comes over to the rail, but it's right on top of the Milwaukee dugout. First baseman cannot give up on a ball like that in this ballpark. We've been talking a lot about how AT&T Park plays differently. Well, here the wind will often push a ball like that back toward the field of play. It makes playing first base here a real challenge.
And the wind will swirl around this ballpark. It's blowing out. You see the flags out to center field.
World Series flag from 2010. These flags up on top of the 24-foot high Willie Mays wall, indicating a crosswind. 2-2 to Pill, and he skies one to left center field. Aoki angling back onto the warning track to make the catch. Posey retreats to first. So Pill gave it a ride, but comes up short.
And just missed that one, just a little bit underneath it, even with the wind blowing out in that direction. Thought that it might go a little bit deeper. And pitch right down the middle of the plate, down in the zone, and Pill able to drop the head of the bat on it and send Aoki deep into center field. It's only $3.99 out there, but it plays much deeper than that.
So Pill is 0 for 2. Joaquin Arias with 2 down and Posey at first. Fouls the first pitch off. Posey never a fast base runner. He's a catcher, but after the injury last year that cost him most of the season, Posey's not going to be running the bases very wildly.
Yeah, some of your base burners might think about tagging up on that fly center field, but not Buster Posey.
Here's a curveball in the dirt. Totally fooled Arias, but it skipped away from Kataris, and Posey shows us he's got a little friskiness in the legs. He takes second base on the wild pitch. And it's a big 90 feet, now the runner in scoring position.
And that's that Randy Wolf curveball down in the strike zone. And Kataris tried to play it on a short hop, and Posey with good instincts able to get into second base.
So now a base hit, and the Giants could tie this game. Brewers got a run in the second. 1-0 Milwaukee. The 0-2 and a curveball. That one missed badly. These are the spots where the Giants offense has struggled so much, not just this year, going back all of last season. 2 outs, runner at second or third. Another curve, and Wolf at the moment not commanding that pitch.
I think he's just trying to take a little bit too much off of it. I mean, he's been known to throw that curveball at about 58 miles an hour.
Hey, look, you can see him talking to himself about the mechanics of that pitch. See if he tries it again. He bounces it. So from 0-2, 3 curveballs missed. The count goes full. They've had Arias chasing that curveball all game, so he wants to use it. Just not putting the curveball close enough to get the Giants shortstop to go after it.
But you miss on a curveball like that, you want to miss down, not up. That's the last place you want it.
3-2. And a curve low, but swung at and fouled off. That would have been ball 4.
Just such a slow, tantalizing pitch. It's so difficult to lay off, especially when you have 2 strikes on you.
Outfield fairly straight away. Aoki has come in, though. He's playing fairly shallow in center. 3-2. And a fastball fouled back to the screen. So Arias was still ready to swing at the fastball even after seeing so many curveballs in a row. .71 pitches now for the 35-year-old left-hander. And it's just the 4th inning. Pitch number 8 of this at bat. Another 3-2 and a liner to second, caught by Weeks. The inning is over. Randy Wolf, 4 shutout frames so far. He and the Brewers lead the Giants 1-0. fifth inning from AT Park in San Francisco. Dave Fleming, Bill Schroeder with you. George Kataris, the catcher, and the 8th place hitter, takes a first pitch curve from Bumgarner in for strike one. Not the big looping Randy Wolf curveball, but still it's been an effective pitch for him today. Kataris takes strike two. That time the slider.
Curveball, slider, and anytime you can throw anything other than a fastball, first pitch strike, I mean, you're going to have a lot of success.
Now Kataris has no idea what's coming here. 0-2. And he goes with the fastball but misses down and away. And the fastball command, that's been the problem for Bumgarner. He's pitching well, but it has been a little erratic today.
Well, it's been up in the strike zone. He's got away with some pitches up. And it just shows the mound presence of a guy that, you know, isn't 21 years old or 22 years old and in his second full year. Doesn't seem to be rattled by much.
Kid from North Carolina. He's already won a World Series game. Kataris stays alive with a foul ball on another Bumgarner fastball.
His major league debut came when he was 20 years old. In 2010, he wins Game 4 of the World Series as a 21-year-old. That's amazing.
On the road against that powerful Rangers lineup with Josh Hamilton that year, Vlad Guerrero, Kinsler, and he just totally shut the Rangers down. And one night later, Tim Lincecum and company finished off the World Series title. That one slashed into left field over the reach of Gillespie. Base hit for Kataris. Some more good hitting from the 8th place hitter George Kataris after falling behind in the count. An opposite field single.
Yeah, a little bit of a difference in the setup for Madison Bumgarner. You could see on the left last year, you see the way his shoulders are square facing directly to home plate. And now he's got more of an angle, less movement in the beginning of his delivery, and the less movement, I think, early in the delivery results in much better command later in the delivery.
So from the windup, a real difference. Now from the stretch, Wolf gets a bunt down and Bumgarner doesn't go for it. Gillespie and he softly collide, but Conor Gillespie still able to make the play and get the out. Well, that was a near disaster for this shaky Giants defense, but they do get the out at first. A successful sacrifice for Randy Wolf.
You know, pitchers don't have to get a lot of base hits, but what they need to do when they have an opportunity is drop down bunts. It's one of those I got it, you take it things, and but they do get an out. So they have a man in scoring position for the top of the order.
And Gillespie, you don't really want big old Madison Bumgarner to be right in your way. That could have been very scary for the Giants. Kataris in scoring position now with one away, and here's Aoki taking strike one. Fastball and good knee-high command there.
And when you look at that, you know, the difference in the setup for Bumgarner, it's a lot like a hitter. I mean, it doesn't matter really how you start when you're at the plate. It's how you finish when you're ready to get rid of the baseball, or whether you're ready to swing the bat when the baseball's in the hitting zone.
You know, good point. There's the curveball for strike two call.
But less movement for both hitters and pitchers is always better. Less chance for a defect in the delivery or the swing.
0-2 to Aoki, who's 0 for 2 and has flied out to center field twice in this game. Brewers leading the Giants in the 5th, 1-0. Aoki got impatient. Sanchez, the catcher, will come out for a chat. Well, you mentioned it, Bill, earlier in the game. I mean, Bumgarner's a big kid, and he's still so young, and yet such a good natural athlete, repeats those mechanics and gives him the otherworldly command for a guy his age. It's really impressive.
Yeah, 74 pitches right now for Bumgarner and 50 of them for strikes.
And that is not at all unusual. That's about a regular day at the office for Bumgarner. Looks to second, pitches. And a little slap shot down the left field line. Pill on the move, makes the catch. Aoki just trying to flip one into left field, but Pill was able to get there for out number 2.
Yeah, these scouting reports are incredible these days. I mean, you see a shift for just about every hitter that comes to the plate. Everybody wants to talk about, you know, why offense is down in baseball these days. Well, that's one of the reasons. Back in the old days, 10 years ago, that's a double and a run's in. You know, they have these spray charts and all the video. They know exactly where to play these guys. And I mean, that was an easy catch for Pill out and left.
That's a good point you make. There's Ron Wotus. He's in charge of setting the Giants' infield defense and helps out with the outfield as well. Giants bench coach. Sort of a half-hearted pickoff throw from Bumgarner there. But we see so many teams now, Bill, across the big leagues with the extreme shifting, especially on the infield. You get a pull hitter and you'll have 3 infielders on one side of the infield.
How many times have you seen a guy hit a bullet right back through the middle and the second baseman's waiting right there for it?
Now another pickoff play. Theriot didn't break to the bag. Bumgarner really wanted to throw. Kotaris was a good ways away from second base. Theriot did break in, but Kotaris got back safely.
And Bumgarner does the right thing. I mean, if he throws right to Theriot, where he was initially, that would have been a balk.
First pitch to Weeks is a strike. The HECTOR slider. But even here, not an extreme shift, but you have Theriot pulled well toward the middle. There's a huge opening on the right side of the infield. Outfield fairly straight away. Now another spin move, no throw from Bumgarner. I think Bumgarner noticed a couple different times Kotaris taking a very generous lead away from second, and he is the catcher, Bill, so he doesn't have great speed. You think it's just automatic on a 2-out base hit.
Right.
But Kotaris trying to increase his chances of scoring on a hit to the outfield.
He's not worried about a stolen base. He's doing exactly what you said. Keeping him close.
There's a ball inside from Bumgarner.
A good example of the shifting that we're talking about. Theriot pretty much right up the middle for Ricky Weeks. A lot of room on the right side.
1-1. That one just off the inside with that slider cutter. Bumgarner's had to work reasonably hard second and third innings. He's kind of locked in his command since then. 78 pitches for the game. Now another pickoff play, and it goes off the glove of Theriot. Ricochets right to Arias. Giants had a chance to get Kotaris there, but Theriot couldn't handle that high throw.
He's spending a lot of time on the Brewers catcher at second base. That time pretty close.
I mean, I think clearly he thinks he can get him. It would have been interesting to see if Theriot had caught it. I think Kotaris still would have gotten back safely.
I think a lower throw might have been close.
2-1. Weeks takes a strike. Fastball. It's 2-2. Now Weeks has it infield hit. He's 1 for 2. Ryan Braun's 0 for 2, but he's the on-deck hitter, and you would still figure even with the 0 for 2, Bumgarner wants to get through this inning right here, not have to face Braun. A check swing. Did he go? On appeal? No. Hector Sanchez was sure that was a swing. Instead, it's a full count, 3-2.
It took him a while for Ed Rapuano, the home plate umpire, to ask for help. Well, awfully difficult to hold up on a check swing like that. And it was close.
Real close. There's no good definition in the rule book of what is a swing or not. Just a total judgment call. That one misses inside, ball 4. So he loses Weeks, who takes a walk. And we'll see if that check swing ruling comes back to haunt Bumgarner and help the Brewers. Ryan Braun comes up with 2 on and 2 out. So another big spot for Braun, who struck out his last time up with 2 men on base. He's 0 for 2. Coming back from a sore Achilles, it cost him a game plus. Weeks has got a lot of speed. He's the trail runner at first. Kotaris still leading away from second. It's become a high stress inning for young Bumgarner.
Angel Pagan playing relatively shallow for Ryan Braun. I mean, Ryan Braun, when he is right, I mean, he can drill that right center field gap. Shallow in center, relatively shallow in right for Ryan Braun.
MELKY CABRERA playing well off the line, as every right fielder does here. Braun pops one foul out of play for strike one. It's part of this ballpark, that huge open space in right center, and the right fielder will guard against that. And CABRERA, you can see where he is. There's some right fielders who play even farther off the line, more toward the gap than that.
Yeah, it's 421 down in that right center field gap. That's a long way to go.
Braun, another foul ball, and it's 0-2. Braun looks like he's talking to himself as he walks away from home plate. What a night on Monday for Ryan Braun in San Diego at Petco Park, that extreme pitcher's park. 3 home runs and a triple.
15 total bases for Ryan Braun that night. The only player ever with 3 home runs in a game at Petco.
0-2 to Braun. The pitch. Down and in. Trying to put him away with that slider in under the hands. So good battle here. Bumgarner still ahead of the count. Taurus at second, Weeks at first. The 1-2 in the dirt, and it gets by Sanchez. So he threw the curveball and bounced it, and that will advance both runners.
That hit Braun.
And Braun's asking whether it hit him. Ed Rapuano says no.
It looked like it might have hit him right on the toe. I think Ryan Braun's going to get first base.
Now here comes Ron Renicky to argue. Braun had taken off the little shin guard.
That's what it was.
Yeah, you're right.
It was close.
I think it did hit him in the foot. Braun's laughing about it.
Yep, he took the foot guard off, and Ed Rapuano called him back.
So it will be scored as a wild pitch. First base is open now. So Bumgarner can pitch even more carefully to Braun, but we'll see if he still is in attack mode. Ramirez waiting on deck. A base hit now could make it 3-0 Brewers. The 2-2 up and away. Another check swing, and again on the appeal, no swing. A POSEY at first base. Sanchez, the catcher, both took a step toward the dugout.
And watch the Giants dugout.
Oh man.
Yeah, they can't believe it.
You can see why they would be a little ticked off. And Bumgarner can't believe it either. I think Braun was expecting that was strike 3.
Yeah.
When the hat comes off from Bruce Bochy, you know he's not happy. 3-2. Braun hits one foul.
Well, you give a guy like Braun an extra strike, and you're asking for trouble.
Another look at that pitch that bounced. It definitely kicked dirt, so it didn't get only toe. Hard to tell from that angle whether it got a piece of the toe. Braun thought it did, but he's still at home plate in a full count situation with 2 men in scoring position. Braun hits a ground ball toward the middle. Arias far to his left, and he throws out Ryan Braun. Bumgarner gets through the trouble. Great chance for the Brewers. They do not score. They still lead 1-0. Madison Bumgarner gets out of a big jam at the top of the 5th.
Yeah, a 7-pitch at bat. Ryan Braun fell behind in the count. 0-2, I think a little bit over aggressive with men in scoring position, and then Bumgarner tried to get him with sliders. That was the pitch that struck Braun out his second time up. There's a big check swing, and after a foul ball, Bumgarner able to get the baseball down in the strike zone and get the 6-3 put out to end the inning. Actually, that pitch was up and away.
He got Braun to go after one, and Bumgarner got through the trouble. Meanwhile, strike one to Hector Sanchez on a foul ball to start the last of the 5th. Bottom part of the order for the Giants. Trying to get something going against Randy Wolf. They do have 3 hits now against Wolf. The official scorer changed his mind about that play with Buster Posey. Sanchez to center field and well hit, carrying well. Aoki all the way back. It's off the wall. And the catcher Sanchez into second with a leadoff double. There's the first extra base hit of the game for the Giants.
Yeah, he squared up on that one. A fastball right down the middle, and Sanchez nearly hit it out of here. It takes a pretty good poke to get it out of here in this ballpark in center field, but all the way off the wall in center. Aoki plays it well, realizes he's not going to be able to get there, plays it off the wall and holds Sanchez to a double. That's a long way out there. It's only .399, but it plays a lot deeper than that.
Even during the daytime, the ball will travel better. You got to hit it hard to get it out to straightaway center or especially deep right center field. Here's Conor Gillespie, 0 for 1, the 8th place hitter. Now Gillespie pops up the first pitch into shallow left center. Fighting the bright sunshine, Ryan Braun hangs on and makes a catch. That's the tough sun field here. Braun made the play. Fox Saturday Baseball is sponsored by Chevrolet. Proud to support youth baseball in cities and towns across the country. From a baseball crazy city here, San Francisco, 1 out. Gillespie retired after the leadoff double, so Hector Sanchez still at second base, and here's Bumgarner. Big curveball misses. Dave Fleming, Bill Schroeder with you. The Giants would have liked to have seen at the least Gillespie find a way to move Sanchez to third. Even with the pitcher up, it gives you a better chance to get that run in.
All right. I mean, at least try and drive the ball to the opposite field. Last thing you want to do is make an out to the right side. No chance of advancing a base runner.
Bumgarner pulls a base hit into left field, and that's going to tie the game. The Giants pitcher comes through. It'll be a double for Bumgarner as Sanchez scores. A 1-1 tie.
Well, he's pitching well. Why not driving a run, right?
If the offense is struggling, help yourself out. Sanchez with the leadoff double, and he gets high fives after scoring that run.
Yeah, so the battery able to manufacture a run. A couple of doubles, a high fastball from Randy Wolf. Pretty good swing by young Madison Bumgarner.
Well, he can hit the fastball. Batting practice is a show with Bumgarner. When he gets all the fastballs in the game, it could be a little different, but he got one he liked there. And now PAGAN swings away at the first pitch and chops one right to third. Ramirez will throw him out for big out number 2. So the Giants have tied this game. It has been so difficult for the Giants this week offensively. They have not had a lead, that's hard to believe, in 41 innings. So going back not just this series, but the Marlins were here and swept 3 games, 3 close games, but the Marlins won them all.
Yeah, just hate to waste that kind of good pitching. You keep the opposition off the board, just can't scratch across enough to get a win.
We'll see if THERIOT can come through. It's been a quiet day for THERIOT, a couple of ground outs. He's ahead of the count 1-0. Angel PAGAN, who's got the long hit streak going, 19 games in a row, chased a pitch down from Wolf. First pitch he saw and made the second out. 1-0 to THERIOT, who knows Wolf for the Brewers well. Just sort of slapped at that one and hit it foul.
And that's what THERIOT tries to do to you. He's not trying to pull the baseball, but They pitch him up and away, and he will, dump one into right field. Whether Bumgarner is going to be able to score the pitcher is a different issue.
We say runner at second is in scoring position. Not always the case, though, when it's the pitcher out there. The 1-1. THERIOT takes high. And you say THERIOT's approach, looking to go opposite field. THERIOT hitting with almost no power this year whatsoever. It's been a very slow start for Ryan THERIOT. But 37 career at-bats against Randy Wolf. Takes that one way up and outside.
And those are his days with the Chicago Cubs.
Last year, THERIOT, member of the world champion Cardinals. Wolf showing some signs of vulnerability now, up over 80 pitches, and the command is more erratic. THERIOT lines one to first, and it's caught there by Brooks Conrad. So trying to go to right field. Giants strand Bumgarner, but they do tie the game. The pitcher knocks in the run. Is sponsored by Pepsi Max. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. And what a scene, a high above AT&T Park in beautiful San Francisco, right next to San Francisco Bay. The Giants have tied the Brewers here 1-1. The Giants trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. It has been a tough week at home for the Giants. As Aramis Ramirez leads off against Bumgarner, it's a high fly ball, medium left center field. Who's going to take it? It is nobody. It drops right between Pill and Angel Pagan, and it's another defensive mistake for the Giants. And I don't think that was the sun. I think that was miscommunication.
Yeah, just a little bit of indecision. Somebody's got to catch that baseball, that's for sure. But ordinarily, it's going to be the center fielder. He's the quarterback in the outfield. Nobody calls it. They both peel off, and Ramirez is able to get into second base. You got to figure that's got to be an error on somebody.
And they will charge an error to Angel Pagan.
Somebody's got to take charge, and ordinarily it's going to be the center fielder.
So the Giants defense has just not been good in 2012, and there's another example of it as Hart pushes a bunt first base side. Posey will scoop it up and tag Corey Hart coming to the bag. The 5th place hitter in the order gives himself up to move Ramirez to third.
I'm not sure if that was a sacrifice. He's going to be given a sacrifice, I would imagine, but trying to bunt for a base hit, perhaps that is a bit of a surprise with the bottom of the order coming up. Remember, Gonzalez out. These Turris is in the lineup.
And Bruce Bochy's coming out for a chat here. And with nobody warming up in the bullpen, this is Bochy talking strategy with his pitcher and his infielders.
Maybe a scouting report, perhaps.
And I think maybe also a warning against a possible squeeze play. The Brewers love to put the squeeze on, and they did it in last night's game successfully.
They've done it 4 times this year. 2 suicide squeezes and a couple of safety squeezes. Yes.
Last night in the game the Brewers won, it was Travis Ishikawa, former Giant, getting the bunt down to score a run for Milwaukee. The suicide squeeze worked beautifully as the Brewers padded their lead at that time. That was Jonathan Lucroy.
Yeah, that was the suicide squeeze where the runner at third takes off before the pitcher gets rid of it, as opposed to the safety squeeze where you drop down a bunt, the runner at third base has to read where the baseball is and then head home.
So we'll see if the Brewers have any ideas. First pitch, trying to backdoor him with the slider, and Bumgarner missed. Turris will take a long look down to third, and the third base coach Ed Cedar giving the signs. Is Turris in the game, as Bill mentioned, because of the injury to Alex Gonzalez? All they've told us, right knee injury. He's going to have an MRI. We'll hope for the best for Alex Gonzalez. As Turris takes high 2-0. The other part of this, though, Bill, is that the Giants are worried about the possible squeeze, but as Turris is not a real dangerous hitter right now, has gotten off to a very slow start.
Yeah, which is why Bruce Bochy and the Giants feel as though it might happen. You want to put a squeeze on if you're the Brewers when you figure the pitcher has to throw a strike, and it's right now.
2-0. No play on. There is a strike over the outside with the breaking ball. So a lot of possibilities here. The Giants just tied the game with a run in the 5th, and it was Bumgarner himself to knock it in. Then this 6th inning starts with what looked like a routine fly ball, and neither Pagan nor Brett Pill caught it. It just dropped right in between them. That has set the rally for Milwaukee. That ball slapped toward right field. Cabrera comes on and makes the catch. Now comes up throwing, and it's just a bluff tag by Ramirez as he cannot score.
Well, not very good base running at third base. He was taking a number of steps toward home plate, thinking that ball was going to drop. By the time he got back, it was too late. I tell you, when you're running on the move like that, it's awfully difficult to set yourself, get off a good, accurate throw, but Cabrera did that. That was a nice play. Look how late it is that Ramirez gets back, and by that time, he really has no choice but to stay put.
So Ramirez was worried about being unable to score from third if the ball had dropped, I guess. Now that's a break for the Giants, and another good play in the outfield by Melky Cabrera.
Yeah, he made a nice throw on a run like that.
Here's Brooks Conrad, and a breaking ball swung on and missed. Conrad, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Getting the start at first base today. Ramirez at third, but now 2 down. Conrad hits a foul. Strike 2. See if Bumgarner can work his way through another jam. One that he did not create. Bumgarner has the pitch he wants. Here's his 0-2. Very high with a fastball. They're trying to elevate. He doesn't want to throw that in the strike zone. He wants to get Conrad to chase up.
Yeah, the money pitch for Bumgarner in these situations today has been the slider. Let's see if he goes to it. The back foot slider.
The 1-2. And he does throw it. Conrad just stays alive.
They just left it up just enough to allow Conrad to get a piece of it.
Still a tough pitch, diving down and in on a right-handed hitter. We'll see if they go back to that one again.
They might not want to spike it too much in the dirt for fear of a run scoring if it gets by Sanchez.
Good point. You have Ramirez leading away from third. Still 1-2. Conrad pulls that one sharply foul. Same idea again. The pitch up a bit. I think that'd be a very hard pitch for a right-handed hitter, though, to hit fair. If he's going to make solid contact, it'll be hard to keep that one from going foul.
Yeah, when you leave it down and in like that, you're right.
Brooks Conrad trying to put the Brewers back ahead. Popped it up. Shallow right field. Cabrera with a long run. Still coming on, and he'll battle it, but make the catch. Not easy in the outfield for the Giants that inning, but they hang on and keep the game tied. Including a former Giant, Andres Torres, against the Diamondbacks for the Mets. Here it's 1-1, and Madison Bumgarner watching from the dugout as his offense comes up against Randy Wolf. It's the middle of the order. Melky Cabrera taking ball one.
Yeah, there's an example of a pitcher picking up his defense. A lot of times it's the other way around, but Bumgarner able to settle in and get it done.
Cabrera drives one left center field. That will make it into the gap and roll all the way to the wall. And Melky will try to use his speed here. Cabrera turns second. He's trying for three. And the relay skips away from his tourist. It's a leadoff triple for Melky Cabrera.
Now check this out. A fastball middle in, and Cabrera able to find the gap. We talked about his speed. He's able to get in there easily into third base with nobody out. Did the same thing last night, but a triple to right center. So he's covering all parts of the field in this series so far.
Triples in back-to-back games for Melky Cabrera. Nobody the last couple of years better with games like this. As Posey takes a first pitch curve in for a strike. And that extra base, hustling that into a triple, puts so much pressure now on the Milwaukee defense. The infield is in. Posey hits a ground ball back into center field. That's a hit, and that will score Cabrera, who almost literally just walks home. And the Giants have their first lead since last weekend.
Now the 3-4 hitters getting it done, Cabrera and Posey. Cabrera with a fastball. He's able to ring one into the gap in left center. And Randy Wolf with a cut fastball that he left out over the plate, and with the drawn in infield, Yeah, not much chance of knocking that one down.
And that's what Bruce Bochy likes to say to his struggling offense. You're in a spot like Posey was there. I don't care if you hit a fly ball or ground ball, just hit the ball hard somewhere and something good will happen, and that's what Posey did.
Yeah, just don't try and pull it. Most of the time when you try and pull a pitch, you're going to end up putting it on the ground. That's what you don't want to do.
Posey's got 2 hits. Cabrera's got 2 hits. And the Giants have gone ahead 2-1. Still nobody out for Brett Pill, who takes that curveball low. Brewers bullpen is quiet, but you wonder how long that'll remain the case. Randy Wolf approaching 90 pitches.
And Wolf has done a nice job so far with the ball to strike ratio. Almost 2-1.
Now Pill drives one toward right center field, slicing away from Aoki, who can't get it and he can't cut it off. Posey speeding toward third, and Tim Flannery's going to send him home. And another poor relay throw. Just skips away from the cutoff man. Pill into second with a double, and the Giants lead 3-1. Posey able to score all the way from first base.
I hope he's getting his running in the last 2 hitters. Last 3 hitters. Left center, now right center. That's the deepest part of this ballpark out here. Watch the way this baseball slices away from Aoki as it gets to the outfield. Able to get it before it hits the warning track. And it's so deep out there. Even Buster Posey, with average speed at best, able to score without a throw.
And even with the hesitation from Posey, last second, thinking Aoki maybe had a chance to make a diving catch. Runner at second, still nobody out. Joaquin Arias slashes one foul. The Giants offense, dormant all week, has come to life here in the 6th inning. Brett Pill with an RBI double. Los Gigantes on Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, you might see those in tomorrow's game.
Team's not going well.
They're superstitious baseball players.
This is considered a breakout game for the Giants offense. There's a little bloop on a hanging curve. Pill will stop at third. Braun comes up with the ball. Arias has been seeing so many curveballs. Perhaps he was looking for that one. Now the Brewers bullpen starts to work. Our Jeep game summary. The Giants, who have not led all week, literally have their first lead since last weekend. Madison Bumgarner got a run in himself with an extra base hit, and more bad news on the injury front for Milwaukee. Alex Gonzalez with a right knee injury. He'll have an MRI, but it did not look pretty.
Yeah, particularly because he had to be helped off the field. That's never a good sign. This has been a very costly road trip for Milwaukee, to say the least.
Matt Gamble hurt and out for the year. He hurt his ACL. Carlos Gomez, center fielder, is going to go on the DL. Here's the play we were talking about on a steal and a slide, and you can see how awkward that is. Jamming his foot and his right knee into the bag.
Yeah, late slide, and the knee, it looked like the right knee taking the brunt of that.
Really buckled there. That's hard to watch. And a good player, excellent defensive shortstop, power hitter. Well, the Giants first and third, nobody out, a chance to add to the lead, and Hector Sanchez just a slow chop left side. They're going to go to second to get the lead run there, and Pill never broke from third. So Brett Pill did not score.
Yeah, he didn't really get a very good secondary lead and a good jump. So once you realize you didn't get a jump, you just got to stay there. And you're still in scoring position with 1 out. Coach can't help you on that one. You have to read that on your own.
Pill, if he had gotten a good read, he would have scored, and Ramirez was not going to try to throw him out. He's still only 1 away, but now a lot of pressure on Conor Gillespie, the 8th place hitter. For this struggling Giants offense, trying to at least cash in that one more run. He had Pill at third, nobody out. Now he's there with 1 down. And the slow-moving catcher, Hector Sanchez, at first. Pickoff throw that way. Sanchez had about a 1-stride lead away from the bag.
Call that a one-way lead?
I would, yes. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Normally a one-way lead is a big lead, but your first move is back to first.
He's going conservative on both fronts.
Right.
Gillespie takes a strike. That one catches the outside corner. Conor Gillespie 0 for 2 in this game. And has not hit the ball hard. It's Manny Parra, the left-hander, getting loose. The starter for the Brewers now pitches out of the bullpen. Middle infield hoping for a double play possibility. Wolf will make another throw towards first base. And I guess the Brewers are maybe slightly concerned about the Giants at the bottom of the order putting some sort of play on where you might try to get Pill home.
Maybe make a throw to first base to see maybe if Gillespie shows maybe bunt.
Yeah.
Maybe give away a squeeze.
It's a possibility too. Gillespie has not tipped his hand and he's not bunting. He takes ball one. Gillespie 2 for 9 since coming up from AAA Fresno. Pablo Sandoval on the disabled list. The Giants' best overall hitter. No sympathy from the Brewers, though. Injuries have really hurt both of these teams. Wolf another throw toward first base.
I can't imagine he's worried about Sanchez trying to steal a base.
Big spot here for young Conor Gillespie. He swings and misses. Strike two. Good fastball from Randy Wolf.
And down in the strike zone. Ordinarily, Randy Wolf is going to go big curveball, high fastball. That one down around the knees.
And this is a big pitch here for Wolf as he tries to wiggle free and limit the damage. Bumgarner, the pitcher, is waiting on deck. Gillespie puts it in play and a chopper. Weeks with a great feed to second, but no chance for the double play, and the run will come in to score. Weeks did all he could do, but that ball just not hit hard enough for the possible double play, and so the Giants lead 4-1.
That was a good at bat by Gillespie. I mean, lefty versus lefty, had 2 strikes on him, and all he wants to do is put the ball in play, which he's able to do, and Brewers not able to turn a double play to end the inning.
With a pitcher on deck, you just cannot afford a strikeout there, so Gillespie did do well to get the bat on the ball, and he gets credit for the RBI. And for the Giants, this is an explosion of offense. 3 runs in 1 inning for an offense that's had a hard time scoring at all. Bumgarner helped himself with the bat. Takes a curve that misses. 1-1.
And we were talking about runners in scoring position at bats for both of these teams. In this inning alone, the Giants 3 for 5. Well, they're doing a pretty good job in this inning in that department.
3 for 9 in the game. The Brewers just 1 for 9. There's ball 2 to Bumgarner. So the Brewers have had scoring opportunity against the young left-hander. Bumgarner, who bats right-handed, is at the plate right now. Bumgarner pops one foul. Out of play. That was pitch number 100. Randy Wolf. This spot is due up second in the 7th inning, and the Brewers bench is very short right now because of injury.
So that's why Ron Renneke wants to be able to get Randy Wolf through this inning.
I think otherwise we may have already seen a pitching change, but the Brewers have already had to swap in his tourist. Gonzalez has left this game with injury. We know Carlos Gomez is unavailable. He's got a hamstring problem, and he'll be going on the disabled list.
3 guys on the bench.
You just have 3 available bodies: Niger Morgan, Travis Ishikawa, and Jonathan Lucroy. The bullpen should be fresh, but that's not the issue here with the pitcher spot coming up in the order. There's Niger Morgan, a Bay Area native, back here in San Francisco. There is strike 3 call. Fastball on the inside, and Wolf does get through the inning. But the Giants open the game up. We'll come back to San Francisco after a word from your local Fox station. Fleming, Bill Schroeder from beautiful AT Park in San Francisco. Giants with a 3-run sixth. They've taken their first lead in a week. And now a first pitch swing, and Posey didn't cover first base. Bumgarner hustles over there and gets to the bag so THERIOT can throw out George Qatar as Posey, who is an inexperienced first baseman. Normally the catcher went too far away.
It's not as easy as it looks. I mean, you got to know how far you have to roam over toward the hole and know who's up and where your second baseman is positioned. And Posey not able to get there, but Bumgarner doing a nice job covering.
A really nice job by Bumgarner not to take it for granted that the play would be made and hustle over there. The Giants have made a couple of changes. MELKY CABRERA, you saw, shifted from right to left, and Scherholtz in to play right field. So upgraded defense. Brett Pill comes out now that the Giants lead, and it's Jonathan Lucroy, the pinch hitter, taking strike one right there on the inside with a fastball. Lucroy had a big night last night. Had a triple, scored a run, also another base hit that knocked in 2 runs against Tim Lincecum. Hitting .292, and he pulls one sharply foul.
Yeah, this is something that Ron Renicky does quite a bit. He's not afraid to use his only other catcher. A lot of managers won't do that. Ordinarily, in these situations, you'll see Lucroy pinch hit and replace Qataris behind home plate once Wolf is out of the game.
Lucroy in an 0-2 hole. Hitting for the pitcher, Randy Wolf, who goes 6 and gives up 4 runs and 9 hits. Lucroy just got a piece of that one. Oh, 2 to Lucroy. He grounds that one past the reach of THERIOT into right field. Just a little opposite field single for the pinch hitter. Chevrolet helping to build the next generation of diamonds and dreams. Here's our own Ken Rosenthal to tell you more.
As the official vehicle of Major League Baseball, Chevrolet is proud to be building the next generation of memories at all levels of the game. From the Chevrolet Youth Baseball program's instructional clinics and equipment donations to the many ball fields they've made better, see Chevrolet's commitment to the game at ChevyBaseball.com.
All right, great stuff from Ken and from Chevrolet. Very important stuff. Aoki drives that one to right field. Scherholtz all the way up against the wall. He makes a catch. Lucroy tags and he'll get to second. But Aoki nearly missed, hitting one off the high right field wall here, and Scherholtz just in for defense, made a nice play.
Aoki, I think he thought he hit that one out. Well, the wind blowing out a little bit toward right center field, and Scherholtz able to get to the wall. Home field advantage for the Giants. Knowing exactly where he was, and a pretty good throw in his second base. That was a little bit closer than Lucroy would have wanted it.
He's got a great arm out there. And you see that chain link fence, the opening that allows fans who don't even have a ticket to the game to watch. Scherholtz crashed into those openings, those archways. Sometimes the wind will blow in off the bay right through there and help knock a ball down. So 2 down. Weeks swings and misses for strike 1. And there's some of those fans getting a free view of the ball game.
That's a pretty good spot.
Well, they were in the game on that last play.
Yes, sir.
The arcade up above, the port walk you see on the far right there down below at water level. Weeks takes low. Bumgarner misses with a fastball. And we'll see, this could be it for Bumgarner. Guillermo Mota's up in the Giants bullpen. His next pitch will be number 109. There's the veteran right-hander. And a former Brewer.
Yes, indeed.
He's been with several different big league clubs. Weeks chops one foul.
Yeah, he's been around. Got a good arm. Still throws pretty good.
He does. It's a beat up Giants bullpen right now. Supposed to be a strength of this team. No Brian Wilson out for the year. Jeremy Affeld on the DL. And a couple other guys struggling. Giants would love for Bumgarner to get through this 7th inning at minimum. He's ahead of Weeks 1 and 2. Weeks takes strike 3 called. Fastball right there. And Bumgarner gets out of a little jam. Giants lead 4-1. Highway MPG. A great look here, just a mile or so away from AT&T Park, the Bay Bridge connecting San Francisco to Oakland and the East Bay. A spectacular Saturday afternoon. Not a lot of traffic on the Bay Bridge at the moment. Everybody's paying attention to this ball game. Giants Brewers last of the 7th, and a new pitcher, the left-hander Manny Parra, to the catcher Lucroy, who stays in. Dave Fleming, Bill Schroeder. Bill, tell us a little bit about Parra.
Yeah, Parra was a starting pitcher for the Brewers a couple of years ago. He missed the entire year last year. He had a bone spur removed from his left elbow, and he had a back problem.
Angel Pagan toward left center field. Braun on the move, and Braun able to reach out and make the catch. And maybe limping still a tiny bit out of the outfield with that Achilles problem after he made that play. Looks a little...
Yeah, still quick enough to get to that baseball, but a little bit slow in stopping. And that's a key component to this Brewers club. That's the last guy you want to see go down. They already had a problem with that Achilles.
Yeah, they've lost so many players, especially this week. And Braun clearly is not back to 100%. He's playing today. But after that long run, he looks like he's in a little bit of pain. Pagan 1 for 4. He makes the out. Here's Theriot, who's 0 for 3. Theriot chops this one. Tough play and a nice pick by Ramirez. His throw just in time. Well done by Aramis Ramirez. So 2 down. George Kataris, who was the catcher, stays in to play first base. Now the MLB Fan Cave is back. Some of baseball's biggest stars scheduled to visit and appear in Fan Cave videos just last Saturday. Justin Verlander of the Tigers, he flew out 11-year-old Shayna Hirsch, who has cystic fibrosis, her family to hang out with him at the Fan Cave. Very cool. Check out all the latest cave happenings at MLBFanCave.com. Follow him on Twitter at MLBFanCave and like the MLB Fan Cave on Facebook. Melky Cabrera out toward the deepest part of the park, but there's Corey Hart guarding deep right center field to make the catch, and the Giants go down on 4 pitches We'll see if Brian Braun can hang in the game. He'll be coming up when we come back to San Francisco. Brewers trailing the Giants 4-1. Way in the 8th with the Giants leading the Brewers 4-1 to the veteran 38-year-old right-hander Guillermo Mota, former Brewer, pitched with Milwaukee back in 2008, and he'll start the 8th inning on the mound for the Giants.
He started his big league career in 1999 with the Montreal Expos. There aren't too many of those guys left. 22 years for Mota. Hard thrower with a pretty good slider.
His 3rd season with the Giants. He'll face Ryan Braun to start off the 8th inning. Last time Braun was up, there was a controversial play. Braun thought he got hit by that Bumgarner pitch. There were a couple men on base. That would have loaded the bases. Instead, Ed Rapuano ruled that it did not hit Braun. The at-bat continued, and Bumgarner ultimately got him out to get out of a jam in the 5th. We'll let you listen in on how Rapuano handled that here when we get a moment, as Braun takes high for ball 1. It's been a tough day for Braun, back in the lineup with an Achilles problem from down in San Diego. He missed last night's game. He's 0 for 3, and 2 different times he's come up with 2 men on base.
And the Brewers have had a tough time with runners in scoring position today. 1 for 10.
That pitch tails way inside for Mota, ball 2. Well, that list, Mota, only a few others have pitched more games, active pitchers, and of course Mariano Rivera won't add to that total for the rest of the regular season, it appears. 2-0. He pumps that one right down the middle for a strike. Javier Lopez, the lefty specialist in the Giants bullpen, getting ready. So we may well see Bruce Bochy mix and match here in the 8th. The Giants bullpen in flux these days. That one just off the plate outside.
And Mota thought he got the corner. You know, he got the slider down and away, and ends up being 3-1.
About the worst thing that could happen for Mota is to issue a walk. The Brewers need base runners, are down by 3. So you would expect a challenge pitch here. He does challenge him, and Braun hits a high drive toward the corner in left, and this ball is gone. Well, the 3-1 challenge pitch, and Ryan Braun knew just what to do with it. His 8th home run of the year, and he has to limp around the bases. But he makes it a 4-2 game.
He's one of those guys that covers both sides of the plate extremely well. That pitch, a fastball, looked like it wasn't even a strike. It was in on him, and Ryan able to pull those hands in and get the big part of the bat on it and knock it out of here. The trick to that, a lot of guys are going to hit that ball hard, but keeping it fair, that's the tough part.
A very impressive swing for Ryan Braun, even if he's not fully healthy. He's even limping around a bit in the dugout. Aramis Ramirez takes up and in, ball one.
Hey, what a difference between a 2-2 pitch. Had that pitch before got called a strike. I don't think Mota throws that same pitch to Braun.
Here's Mota's pitch, and it's ball two. And Guillermo Mota does not look sharp at all. Dave Righetti, the pitching coach, is going to come out. Sergio Romo, who has pitched 2 games in a row and did not pitch very effectively last night. Romo joins Javier Lopez down to the bullpen. And we mentioned how Braun's previous at bat, there was a little controversy. Let's listen in. We got some cool audio of Ed Rapuano handling that situation.
Where you going? I didn't see it. Let me see the ball. Stay right there. Time is out. Let me see that ball. Brawny, I didn't see it. If it hit your foot, I didn't see it.
So Ed Rapuano taking charge, check the ball, see maybe if there's a little scuff, some shoe polish or whatever.
That much of an argument from Ryan Braun.
He put the shin guard back on and ultimately made it out in a 5th inning rally. That was a key moment of the game. Braun this time, though, with the solo home run, his 8th of the year. Ramirez 1 for 3. Now he skies one, but well fouled down the left field line. Well, this Giants bullpen, no Brian Wilson, the closer, had Tommy John surgery. He's out for the rest of the year. Jeremy Affeldt, a reliable left-hander, veteran presence in the pen. He's on the disabled list. Santiago Casillas now the Giants starter, or closer rather. But it's changed a lot of the roles for Bruce Bochy's bullpen.
Yeah, what a disaster. It's a nightmare for a manager when your closer goes down. Not just goes down, if he's ineffective. I mean, it changes everybody else's role, and your bullpen, your complete bullpen is out of sync.
You're seeing so many teams fight that problem around the big leagues right now, and a lot of it because of injuries, although some closers, Heath Bell comes to mind, the brand new closer for the Marlins, who is struggling mightily. The 9th inning, tough for big league ball clubs right now across the game. Ramirez strikes out swinging. So Ramirez goes down. We should also thank the crew chief, Ed Rapuano, for wearing the microphone today. Gave us a neat insight into that sequence of what an umpire has to do to take charge in a spot like that.
Well, completely, took charge of that, said I didn't see it. I don't know what to tell you. Get back in the batter's box. What else can you say, right? No argument from Braun, though.
No. Here's Corey Hart with 1 out. And that's a good slider for Mota for a called strike. Well, speaking of audio, last Monday in New York, all the men and women who helped bring you these Fox Saturday baseball telecasts from all around the country were honored with 4 Emmy Awards. Congratulations to everyone involved, including Outstanding Technical Team and Outstanding Live Audio. So we just got a little snippet of why that Emmy Award was awarded.
Yeah, and that stuff's not easy to pull off. Not a lot of work.
Also Emmy for Outstanding Live Special for the 2011 World Series. As Hart pops this one into shallow right field. THERIOT, Posey. It's the second baseman THERIOT who takes charge. Not an easy play. THERIOT makes the catch, 2 down. Joe Buck, one outstanding play-by-play. Congratulations to everyone at Fox Sports for those well-deserved Emmy Awards. Here's Cesar Izturis, the switch hitter. He'll bat left-handed here against Mota. No specific word on Alex Gonzalez, but tough news for an already beat-up Brewers team. They lost Gonzalez earlier in the game with a knee injury. Now the ball gets loose from the Milwaukee bullpen.
There's Tim Dillard down there, the side armor. One got by.
Bullpens are very much in play here in San Francisco.
Not too many ballparks have that anymore.
It's great for the fans. There's a call. Strike on the outside with the Mota fastball. There's no secret as to who's warming up. The pitcher spot is due up next. It's a foul. Hit back by Izturis, strike 2. I think if Izturis makes it out here, we'll likely see Parra stay in the game, but if not, Nyjer Morgan's getting ready in the on-deck circle. Brewers have a run back on the Braun home run. Giants still lead 4-2. 2 outs, 8th inning. That one way up and outside with another Mota fastball. There's the slugger, Ryan Braun. People wondered at the beginning of the year, with no Prince Fielder behind him in the order, how would Braun do? Well, so far the results are pretty positive.
Yeah, we talked about the 3 home runs that he hit on Monday at Petco Park, and the Brewers had not had a home run since, until that Ryan Braun home run this inning. A team that relies on the home run, and it's tough to hit him in some of these West Coast ballparks.
No team scores more of its runs via the home run in the National League than the Brewers. 2-2. Way up and outside. Well, Mota has just missed badly after getting ahead of the count 0-2. With a 2-run lead, Mota just cannot walk Cesar Izturis, a guy who has almost no power, who has 4 hits total on the year. Mota's got to find a way to throw a strike here. Big pitch on the way, and he misses low, ball 4. I'll give Izturis credit there, but that is a mistake that I'm sure will drive Bruce Bochy crazy.
And it will probably end the day for Guillermo Mota. They have a left-hander down there. That's Lopez getting loose, and here comes Ishikawa.
And indeed, you're right. It will end the day for Mota. Only left-handed options off the bench for Milwaukee. So Ishikawa will be the pinch hitter. Lopez coming in. When we come back, Giants trying to protect a 2-run lead. The 8th inning, trailing the Giants 4-2, and Javier Lopez in from the Giants bullpen. Lopez will pitch against the left-hander, his former teammate from the 2010 World Series winning Giants team. Lopez See the numbers from this year, although the numbers against lefties for Lopez, who could be so tough to hit this season, have not been quite as good, Bill.
Yeah, for his career, lefties hitting just 163, but this year, 5 for 13. But the one thing about Lopez and the Giants, he does a very good job limiting inherited runners. Not many of them score.
Ishikawa could tie the game with one swing, and there's a called strike to the former Giant. Parts of 4 big league seasons. Travis Ishikawa, who makes his offseason home, still here in the Bay Area. I'm sure he would love to come up with a big hit against his old club. Lopez from the side, and Ishikawa, it's a high fly ball, pretty well hit out toward right center field, and carrying real well all the way back there. Nate Scherholz makes a catch just in front of 421. Man, he gave it a ride, but he comes up just a bit short of the Giants' still lead. Coverage of Sprint Cup Series racing. The Aaron's 4:99 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Thanks to Mac Kenseth for helping set that up. His Brewers trail the Giants 4-2. Bottom of the 8th inning, and the new pitcher is the right-hander Tim Dillard. The 1-0 pitch to Buster Posey for the side-arming right-hander in for a strike.
Yeah, Tim Dillard, his first time he's made an opening day roster in his career. He had 3 stints with Milwaukee last year and made 24 appearances. 2 years ago, he was a conventional over-the-top pitcher. They changed him a couple of years ago, and he's been pretty effective out of the bullpen.
There's a called strike. Posey disagreed with the call from Ed Rapuano. It's 1-2. Well, this is an inning where we would see Francisco Rodriguez if the Brewers had the lead, but down. Tim Dillard's job is to give Milwaukee a chance in the 9th against the closer. Santiago Casillas getting loose for the Giants. Now a ball pulled foul. A little slider from Dillard. Still a ball and 2 strikes. There is Santiago Casilla, the fill-in closer for the Giants. Brian Wilson out for the year on the disabled list.
He's handled it pretty well so far.
He's got awesome stuff. Definite closer type stuff as Posey pulls one down the left field line right towards Santiago Casilla, and it hooks foul. Posey had a pretty good look at that one. Posey bidding for extra bases, but a foul ball.
It's tough to even get a bat on that pitch. That slider, that frisbee slider from that arm angle, and tendency is for a right hander. You pull that front shoulder, you have no chance. But watch Posey the way he hangs in there, able to get it off the end of the bat, and wasn't able to keep it fair.
Well, Posey's such a pure hitter from the right side, hitting .333 in the early season. And for Giants fans, just great news that he's back healthy. He strikes out swinging here, though, on that tough pitch from Dillard. Well, our game today sponsored by Jeep. Saturday baseball on Fox from AT&T Park with the kayaks out in full force on McCovey Cove. Beautiful day to be on the water or inside the ballpark. Here's Nate Scherholtz, came on for extra defense. This is his first at bat of the day. Scherholtz in a deep slump. He grounds to second. Ricky Weeks will throw him out. 2 gone. Now, early in our telecast, we gave you a Twitter poll question, asked you about the Yankees' chances to repeat as East Division champs if they don't have Mariano Rivera, and lots of skeptics, Bill, out there. 57% of our Twitter answers say no.
Well, maybe some of them are Yankee fans, maybe. I mean, it's been since '97 that they've had this issue without Mariano Rivera, but the way the Yankees can bang, I think that they're going to be just fine, at least for a while.
Here's Joaquin Arias with 2 down. He takes low from Dillard, and that division just so tough, especially now that the Orioles are playing well. The Blue Jays playing very well. Tampa Bay looks like one of the best teams in the sport.
Yeah, they're red hot.
It's the Yankees and the Red Sox who at the moment are at the bottom of the American League East. There is a strike to Arias.
Yeah, Tampa Bay 9-1 in the last 10 games. They won 6 straight, and they're 13-1 at home. How about that?
Remarkable.
Yeah.
There are those standings. The Orioles beat up on the Red Sox again today. The Bobby Valentine's team already 7.5 out.
Yeah, they're giving up a ton of runs this year.
The pitching a major concern for the Red Sox. 2 outs, bases empty. Last of the 8th. Joaquin Arias chops that one toward third. It's a fair ball, and Ramirez with a throw a little low, and it is not scooped by Kataris. The catcher who's moved to first base. That allows Arias to reach safely.
And you would figure that's one that Ishikawa would be able to handle pretty easily. Yeah, so we've seen some inexperience over at first, once by Buster Posey and now by George Kataris. And ordinarily for a first baseman, that's an easy pick. That short hop. Does everything right, but keep it in the glove.
They'll charge Aramis Ramirez with a throwing error there. And I think you almost have to score it that way, but you're also right, Bill, that a more experienced first baseman probably helps Aramis Ramirez out. So an error keeps the inning going for the Giants, trying to add to a 4-2 lead. Hector Sanchez with a double in the midst of a rally that tied the game back to the 5th inning. And now he drives one toward left center field, and this ball really hit well to the opposite field off the bottom of the wall, and it sticks right up alongside 382. Arias around third. He'll score. Hector Sanchez, his 2nd double of the day, and it's 5-2 Giants.
Well, some kind of power to center into the opposite field. Man, this kid's strong right here. That pitch down in his own. And ball trying to get away from him on the outer half of the plate, stayed down the middle, but look at him drive the ball to the opposite field. And with 2 outs, the error extends the inning. The Giants able to extend their lead.
And Dillard's coming out of the game. 8th inning, 5-2 Giants. out of the game as Ron Renicky gives the ball to Cameron Lowe, the big right-hander, to try to end this rally. Runner at second, 2 down, 5-2 in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, he was the winning pitcher in last night's ball game. Pitched 2/3 scoreless, and that was in the 6th inning.
Catcher Hector Sanchez just knocked in a run with an opposite field double. A very impressive swing for the 22-year-old. He's at second. Conor Gillespie swings and bloops one left center field, and back goes the shortstop. Is Turris over the shoulder catch. Nice play. One last chance for the Brewers when we come back. Last chance for Milwaukee in the 9th inning against the new closer for the Giants with no Brian Wilson. Santiago Casilla against Ron Renicky's club. See if the Brewers have a rally in store against Casilla, who pumps a first pitch in for a strike at 94 miles an hour to George Kutaris. Casilla's got the excellent numbers, and he's got big time stuff. The Brewers would like to get to Ryan Braun. That's a swing and a foul tip. Another fastball, strike 2.
Yeah, 95-98 with an electric slider to go with it.
Brandon Belt also in the game at first base for some upgraded Giants defense, trying to protect the 3-run lead. The 0-2. And that one just misses inside. Another fastball.
Yeah, before this year, he spent parts of 8 seasons with the Oakland A's and the Giants and had a combined total of 12 saves in that time. So getting his opportunity at 31 years old.
Now a chopper softly hit toward first, and Belt just in the game picks it up right over the bag, a fair ball, and he goes to first for the putout. Well, just for men, auto stop, foolproof stat. We've been talking about these teams' struggles with runners in scoring position. The Brewers today 1 for 10, and that turns into a big difference. The Giants 3 for 10. So the Giants today have counted on those extra hits with runners in scoring position, just like you could count on just for men auto stop for foolproof results.
And that's the thing we were talking about with these two teams. The Giants and Brewers both have really had a tough time with runners in scoring position so far this year. The Giants under 200, the Brewers not much better, and the Giants have certainly had the better of it today.
So just a slight on-field delay. We talked about Those hits the Giants have had in the clutch today, just enough to maintain this lead. Here is Jonathan Lucroy. Came on as a pinch hitter, had a single in the 7th inning against the starter Bumgarner, who pitched 7 strong. It is in line to improve to 5-1 if the Giants hang on here. Ball 1 from Casilla to Lucroy. Giants trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. Been a tough week for the Giants. It's not been an easy week for the Brewers either. Lucroy just a little flare to center, and that's going to fall in front of Angel Pagan for a 1-out base hit. Our Mazda better moment. Speaking of Angel Pagan, back in the 3rd inning against Randy Wolf. A base hit up the middle for Angel Pagan that kicked off with Wolf. Infield hit. Pagan now a 19-game hit streak, longest streak going in the big leagues. That Mazda better moment brought to you by Mazda. Better, stronger, smarter. Pagan just 1 for 4, so he has not really gotten hot, even though he's got the 19-game hit streak. Been a lot of 1 for 4, 1 for 5s.
Hitting around 300, I guess. Hey, a hitting streak's a hitting streak, right? 19 games. That's pretty good.
Giants need everybody to pick it up, but no Pablo Sandoval. Aubrey Huff still on the DL, eligible to come off in a couple days. Aoki now at the plate against Casilla. One more base runner to bring the tying run up, and Aoki hits a possible double play ball. Arias to second, 1. THERIOT to first, not in time. Aoki just quick enough to stay out of the double play that would have ended the game.
Well, the Giants haven't had a call yet today, have they? A couple of check swings that were questionable went against them. Aoki hits this one on a couple of hops, and it looked like it was going to be a room service double play for the Giants, and it looked as though Aoki might have beaten it. It is awfully close.
I'll have to look at that one again if we get a chance. Our smooth play of the game brought to you by Burger King. Evan Madison Bumgarner had to pitch through some trouble, and a lot of it because of poor Giants defense. He did so beautifully. 7 innings, 1 run allowed, 5 strikeouts, only 1 walk, and Bumgarner's got a chance to improve to 5-1.
Yeah, just as advertised. I mean, he had some tough situations. His defense let him down, but he has good mound presence out there. Doesn't seem to get rattled, and he was throwing strikes all day.
Well, a real close call at first. It did not go the Giants' way. Has kept this game going. And Ryan Braun is on deck as a possible tying run if Weeks can reach. He swings and misses through the fastball. We'll take one more look at that close play at first base.
You see Angel Hernandez, the first base umpire. He's in very good position, and you can't really fault him for calling him safe.
Yeah, I think Aoki's foot might have touched the bag right as the ball was entering the glove, and there's no such thing as a tie. The ball has to beat the runner there. Here's a swing and a comebacker. Glove by Casilla. What a play. And he flips to Belt to end the ball game. So Casilla gets the save. The Giants end a losing streak, and they beat the Brewers by a final score of 5-2. A much needed win for the Giants. Bumgarner pitched well. Casilla's 5th save of the year. And that's all for us here from San Francisco. Giants get the win. Now we'll send it back to the MLB Network studios for post-game coverage. Here's Greg Amsinger.